Hi, my name is V. I make sewing content along with other things, and today I'm going to be sewing jeans. This is my first time sewing denim jeans, or just pants in general, so I'm pretty nervous, but I feel like my sewing skills are at the point where I can confidently do this with a pattern, but I might be speaking too soon. The reason why I'm making jeans in the first place is because I haven't been able to find a pair of white denim jeans that I really like, or if I do end up buying them, they just fit weird, so my next best thing was to make it. So we're using this white denim here today, and I got this from Hobby Lobby. I don't know the weight on this. I'm like pretty curious, so I might check it out. It doesn't seem super thick, but it is definitely like thick enough. So hopefully there will be no problems there. And then for the pattern, I already cut it out, which is really unlike me. But yeah, I already assembled and cut everything out. I'm using this pattern by Viki Sews. I've never used one of her patterns before, but they are super affordable and from what I can tell, looks pretty reliable. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. But yeah, so we can just get started on with the sewing process because I have everything prepped and ready to go, which is, again, so not like me. But I'm really excited, so let's get started. I finished cutting out all of my fabric, and right now I'm going to work on the pieces that need to be interfaced. Things that need interfacing are the back pocket here, the front pocket, just the like rim area, and then also the waist piece, but that's about it, so not too much. There are a lot of pieces that go into jeans, and I guess I did know that, but when I was cutting everything out, there's like 10 sets of pieces, so like individually like 20 pieces to all put together, and it seems like so much work. I knew jeans were hard work, but I don't know, this is a lot more intricate than I feel like a lot of like, say, the dresses I make. I don't know. Okay, finished interfacing everything, and now I'm ready to start sewing. The first step is to attach the yoke to the back pant. I've never sewn a yoke before. I mean, I don't think it'll be too different or anything. But the thing with these jeans is that like after every seam you have to top stitch, which I'm just not used to. So I'm gonna have to like be rethreading my needle every time, I feel like, cause unless like, do you use the top stitching thread for actually sewing the pants? For some reason my first initial thought was no, but I'll look that up like right now actually before I start sewing. But I'll just pin everything in place for now. And for cutting my pattern, I actually did trace it out with red chalk, as you could tell, and cutting it out that way, which I'm kind of nervous about because I feel like when I was interfacing there were some like size discrepancies because I cut outside of the chalk line, which added some length and width, I guess, so hopefully it doesn't affect my pants too much. Like even this I feel like is not adding up already. I did buy extra denim in case this project goes south because this is technically my mock-up, but I'm hopefully doing it well enough to the point where it doesn't have to be a mock-up. That reminds me, I should also probably change my needle to a thicker needle. Let me do that. Okay, I wanted to explain this ironing sequence here. So it had me basically do 3 steps to iron all of the seams throughout this entire project, which was first pressing the seams open and then turning it over, and then while the seams are still open on the right side, press that seam down, and then after that you turn it back over to the wrong side where the seam is, and then now you start ironing all of the seams down toward like the same place, which makes sense because when you top stitch you want to keep the seam in place. However, I thought this was a really cool way of ironing because by pressing the seams open first, you kind of make sure that the fabric opens to its fullest potential, so that when you do end up folding it down, you're kind of not losing any fabric through that crease. So I thought that this ironing sequence was genius. I don't know why I haven't done it before. Also, a lot of the times I do just keep my seams pressed open, but I do need to be mindful of that sometimes, because when you do press open your seams, that one part that like your stitch line is the only thing keeping the fabrics together, and it could lose like structural integrity, which is definitely something to think about. But in a project like this where I'm using denim, I don't think I needed to be too concerned about it, but definitely just a thought. So here I'm top stitching, and if you can see, I have like a scrap piece of fabric behind, and I use that to start off my stitches so it can set the tension, because my juking machine is on auto, so it kind of just does its own thing and like detects the tension on its own. So I was finding it hard that when I kind of started right on the fabric, it just wouldn't set until like maybe halfway through into sewing. So I just took a scrap fabric and started it on there, and then I just ended up cutting the fabric off after. But yeah, is there a name for like a fabric like this, piece of fabric like this that you started off? I don't know. I'm sure there is, but I don't know of it. So if you know, let me know in the comments. But this was one of the last steps, which was top stitching the seam, and it was really tedious because I had to do all of these steps that you just saw, from sewing the seam to ironing them to doing the top stitching for every single seam of these jeans, and you're gonna hear me complain about it a lot. check-in time. So I finally finished one singular pant leg, and I don't have very many notes, surprisingly. I will say that the top stitching thread is a lot thicker than I was expecting for some reason, even though I bought it and felt it in the store. I can like really just feel the difference when I'm using it, but you can tell that some of the stitch lines aren't straight, and correct me if I'm wrong to any of the professional sewists out there, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty normal to get those types of like jaggediness when you do top stitching, because sometimes like the grain of the fabric is just going to lead the needle into a different hole than it wants to go into. So that's from my understanding, but honestly, like from afar, I don't think you really could tell the difference. But I mean, it also maybe could have been due to the fact that I didn't cut my fabric straight or on the straight grain very well, but I have attached pockets to garments before, and so I've like done all of like the reinforcement of the corners and stuff like that, so I'm very used to that. So I was able to do that today, which was really cool. It's kind of a full circle moment, but it's coming out so nicely, and like I'm feeling the thickness of like where the pocket is, and like it feels like a jean. So I'm pretty excited. So yeah, everything that you just saw, I'm literally just gonna have to redo on the second pan, and then I can finally move on to attaching all of the back panels together. So BRB. All right, I finished the other pant leg, which did not go as smoothly as the first one. My tension settings just like were not working with me, but I got it figured out finally. So I have both of the back legs here, and now I'm going to attach them together through this crotch here. So I just have to sew it. It has been pretty annoying having to change out my threads from regular threads to top stitching thread. That's just the only annoying part so far, but other than that, I love sewing with denim. I have always liked sewing with thicker fabrics because it's so much easier to maneuver and control. It's not as high maintenance as like the slippery fabrics like satin that I'm used to working with, and it's just a lot more like durable and just easy to work with in general. I am a little nervous to see how this is going to fit because like I mentioned, I did not do a mock-up. Like this is my mock-up, but I've put in so much effort that I want it to work and want it to be good and fine and dandy on the first try, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's connect these. Oh my gosh, and we kind of have some pants. Oh, and surprisingly, the seams matched up perfectly here without me even really paying attention to it. That's awesome. These don't seem very low-waisted. Hold up, let's see if I can. It is giving high-waisted, if this is the crotch. It was saying that it's supposed to sit lower than waist. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be like low-waisted, but I don't do well with the high-waisted stuff. But yeah, okay, so let me press these seams open, serge, do all the usual. What's next? Okay, next is top stitching, and then I guess we move on to the front after. I'm like trying to figure out how much I actually want to do today, because I did some traveling today. I finally got back home, and I'm finally home able to sew, and I feel like I might be biting off a little more than I can chew. Like, I feel like I kind of just want to rot, but I've been waiting to sew like all last week, so. And honestly, this project hasn't even been that draining. Like, I feel like I've actually been doing a pretty good. Let's see how I'm feeling after I finish top stitching this, because I'm gonna press the seams open, serge, and then top stitch, so. Changing out the thread is actually so annoying. Oh my gosh. My tension settings are off again. Didn't even realize until just now. It's hard to see with the white thread. It's so loose. Oh my gosh. And I don't change anything. Like sometimes my machine does that where I don't know if I'm like doing something. I mean, this part around the curve when I was probably like pushing the presser foot up and down was probably messing with the tension because my machine is always on auto. So that's probably what happened. But it should be an easy fix. I'll just like go back over it, but like it's so annoying. Okay, I'm so sad because for the next couple of clips I was talking and my mic wasn't on. I'm clearly not a YouTuber, but I think I was just saying how it's the next day and I have been struggling with my tension for the past like 2 hours. I did end up sewing a whole like front pant leg, and that's what I'm showing here. And I basically sewed the inside part, or like the extension, and then the faux pocket and like that front yoke. I don't know if like yoke is the proper term because I don't think all pants have a front yoke, but I think in this pant design, that's like a design choice. But yeah, so I was able to kind of figure out the logistics of how to sew the front pant leg. So in the next couple of clips, I think I show you guys how to do it basically. But yeah, I think the biggest thing I was talking about in here was the tension issues and what I had left to do. So let's just move straight into the next clip. Guys, I wish I was kidding when I said this, but I have been spending the last like hour trying to figure out the tension of my sewing machine. I didn't realize that it was so off until I was doing literally this right side pocket. I did end up undoing those stitches, and I'm gonna do it again because I think I finally figured it out after like how many trials, but let me see if I can find a good example. Okay, if we look here, you can see like the top, like the bobbin threads pulling through the top, which means that my bobbin tension is not tight enough, or the top tension was way too tight. And the thing with my Juki machine is that there are no numbers really. It's kind of like it's always set at auto, and then you can adjust it based off of like the auto benchmark. So it's never at like a fixed number, if that makes any sense, compared to like a normal machine, which gets really frustrating sometimes. I feel like that's the only annoying part about this machine, because auto works maybe like 75% of the time, and then in times like these, like it's not the best. So I did use like some green thread for the bobbin, and it was doing like a little bit of a better job, but you could still see it poking through, but it was pulling down the top thread like a little better. But at the end of the day, I found out that it was probably my bobbin tension and how it's wound it up with the top stitching thread. It just makes it that much more important for the bobbin tension to be really like sturdy and correct. So I used a pre-wound bobbin, and it seemed like it's doing the trick. I still had to adjust my tension a little bit to make the top thread a little tighter to make sure it pulls it down more. But yeah, I don't know. Yesterday it was working completely fine, and then today it's not. So I really don't know what changed. It might be the needle is already dulling down, which is crazy because I just used it, but I don't have another needle to use. So I'm just gonna use the pre-wound bobbin for now, and hopefully that fixes the issue. But oh my gosh, that was just so annoying. I think I've punctured this like at least like 5 times in the same hole, and just taking it out and redoing it. I also could tell the tension was off because when I was redoing the stitches, I would be able to pull the top thread out like it was a basting stitch. It was, yeah, clearly the tension was off, but hopefully I figured it out, and I'm just gonna go ahead and try sewing this top stitch again. I did see that the back seams of my pant legs are also off. That was like the end of last night. So I don't know what changed at that time, but I'm gonna go ahead and redo that too, because top stitching is so scary because you can see everything. So I'm just such a perfectionist, and I wanna make sure that it is durable and looks nice. So fingers crossed, and let's finish this pant pocket first. Okay, I think that was a success. But it might be like a little too tight because the back, you can really see the top stitching, but I don't even care at this point. The front looks good and that's all that matters. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side. Okay, so here is the front pocket, and now I'm gonna take this piece here and I'm going to sew this to the lining like this, but then that creates like the faux pocket and it just attaches via this lining here. Okay, so I finished sewing this like front part of the pants, like the top part, and I'm now attaching it to the leg. This is more of like a design choice, not really a functional design. You can see on the design picture that like I think they kind of added that diagonal, like I said, for design purposes, but usually like the front pant leg I think is just one, so. But this is my first time using a Viki Sews pattern and I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm pretty happy with it. I haven't really run into any problems. It's very clear, and I will say if I was doing this as a beginner, it might be a little bit hard, but that might just be the nature of like doing jeans and pants and stuff, but I'm sure her beginner patterns are probably more thorough maybe with the instructions, but I haven't really had much trouble with it. One thing that I will say though is that you have to buy each size separately, which, I mean, to be fair, the patterns are already pretty affordable. I think I bought this for like less than $4 US. But I think that like if I did this and it was a little too big or small, I'd have to like buy another pattern, which kind of sucks. But I guess I'm just like not used to that because the patterns that I typically buy have all of the patterns on one, which is nice, but I don't think her patterns give the option for that. But anyway, so I got everything pinned, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sew this together. Also, I know I keep mentioning this, but the other annoying part about having to change the thread so often for the top stitching is that I have to change the tension and the stitch length, and sometimes I just forget, like it slips my mind, because I'm using like almost a millimeter longer stitch length for my top stitch compared to like what I'm stitching everything together with, and but it is nice, I will say, that I have this Juki like thread spool holder, because then I can keep my cone on one, and I mean, yeah, I still have to rethread it, but I don't have to like move the threads every time, which is really nice. And also my machine, other than the tension issues, it's been doing a really good job sewing through all of the denim layers, which I was able to trial that with that upcycling video that I did a little bit ago with the jeans, but I'm gonna go ahead and sew, serge, and press everything, and then I'll be back when we attach the two front panels together. Okay, I finished this part of the pant leg, and I actually forgot there's another step I have to do. I have to like take this piece and attach it to this side here to kind of finish it out and to make like the crotch area, I guess. But then after that, I have to overlock the seams, and then I can finally attach the two sides together. I'm really scared for, like, honestly, the zipper part too. I don't know how that's gonna go. Here's real time me changing out the thread. I'm honestly, like, I could do this in my sleep. It adds like 15 seconds, but still annoying. Okay, I finished both of the front pant legs, And I didn't realize that after this, in order to connect it, was like actually doing the zipper part and the crotch area, which I'm extremely nervous about. I have no idea if I can record this process. I might just like do check-ins and be like, guys, like this sucks, which probably foreshadowing right now. But I don't think I can like record the actual process. Please do not look at this video for guidance, but I've never done this before, but I have my zipper here ready to go. This is definitely longer than what is needed, and I've never worked with a metal zipper before, but I'm pretty sure I can just like cut it, hopefully. I don't know, I'm nervous because I've never done this before, but I should be excited. But I'm so glad I figured out the tension, because look at how nice this top stitching looks. All right, let me figure this out. Fingers crossed it goes okay. Okay, it's been a hot second. Probably took me about 3 hours to finish the zipper, but look at how clean that looks. I'm so happy. And I literally had to take out pliers and stuff and get these metal top parts in, because I did have to cut the zipper off. But other than that, the process was pretty smooth. I will say my top stitching is a tad bit off here on the top, but I don't think I'm bothered enough by it to like take it apart. And also I just want to show you guys real quick, I didn't realize like the intricacies of making a zipper fly. There's like 3 different components to it, and like I don't think right now that after doing it I would be able to do it without instructions, because it's just there's so many pieces. But and also my tension is off. Please don't mind it. There's literally nothing I can do about it. But it has this fly extension, and then, or I think this is considered one, I don't know. There's like 2 different panels that attach to like the actual jeans itself, but it was a really cool process and very tedious though, but it looks really clean and I'm really happy with it. Yeah, look at how cool. I'm so excited. Okay, so the next step is for me to finally put the 2 together, which will kind of help me see the fit a little bit, I guess. I don't know how accurate it's gonna be without the waistband, but they're very baggy jeans. Like I don't think I own low-rise jeans that are this baggy, so I'm pretty excited to see how it's gonna fit. But I think I go ahead and attach it at the inseam first on this edge. It's gonna kind of be the same process where it's just sew, serge, press, top stitch, all that fun stuff. So let's go do that. All right, my inseam is all pinned and ready to be sewed. Okay, I finished constructing the main part of the jeans. I just have the waistband left, but it fits so well. This is like exactly what I was looking for. It might be just a little like above super low rise, which is totally fine with me. Like it's definitely gonna cover my belly button, I think, or like at least be on that area, which is totally fine with me. But I was really nervous they were gonna be big for some reason, but now that they're on, they're like the perfect loose baggy fit. I'm so happy with it. I'm definitely gonna have to hem it a little more than she said, because I'm just super short. But oh my gosh, like I can't believe I made these. This has gone pretty seamlessly and I'm like so happy with this. One more note though, I am a little nervous because I didn't pre-wash this denim, so hopefully if it shrinks, it's not going to shrink too much. All right, I'm done sewing for the day. Tomorrow, all that's left to tackle is the waistband, and then we're done. Yay! Alrighty, hi, it's the next day. I'm working on the waistband like I mentioned. I already went ahead and attached like the belt loops all across with a basting stitch, and now I'm actually gonna take the waist piece and attach it. It seems pretty simple enough. I'm just gonna make sure that I find all of the notches correctly, and that way I can seamlessly attach it. But for now, it doesn't seem so hard. I'm just gonna go ahead and attach it all around and then see what's next. wanted to show you guys the fit of these real quick before I move on, but I'm basically almost done. I just have to hem and then add a button and clean up some threads here and there. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, but they are a little loose around the waist, and it's weird because the crotch area is pretty low for it to be like low rise for me. I don't know if it's like a sizing issue that like maybe I bought the wrong pattern, but definitely something to keep in mind. I'm gonna run them through the wash before I add the button and hem it, because I did mention that I didn't pre-wash the fabric anyway. So let's see if it helps with like a little bit of like looseness. Guys, so washing it, I was clearly being dramatic as flip. It is like the perfect amount of low-waistedness, if that's even a term. I think I did mention this before, that it did mention it was just like a little bit below the waistline, so it's not like super low-waisted, but it's low-waisted enough to the point where like my belly button is still showing. But oh my gosh, I was so nervous. I'm so nervous, but thank goodness that it shrunk, because now it's like actually perfect. The second I add a button, it's gonna be okay, let me attach the button, let's do the hem, and then we'll do the final reveal at the end. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Alright guys, the pants are done, and I'm wearing it with this shirt that I always thought would look way better with white jeans, and I'm able to finally see it on, and I was right. I literally cannot believe that I made this pair of jeans. Like, oh my gosh. Surprisingly, there's only one thing that I really wish I could fix, which is I put the button a little bit this way. It's supposed to line up with the zipper, so it helps like cover the actual zipper here. But yeah, I misplaced it by like a centimeter, so it's a little off, but I already made the hole in the jeans, so I feel like I'd rather just have it misplaced at this point than have a big gaping hole in my jeans, but who knows. If I decide to fix it, it'll be an easy fix. It is so cute. I'm so happy with it. First time sewing pants, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. The instructions were really well written. The pattern was really easy to follow, and I'm definitely gonna buy another Viki Sews pattern in the future. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you guys have any video ideas for the future. But as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.